Alright, Trey Veston here in the frozen tundra of free Idaho. Actually, we're across the border into Idaho. It's 5 degrees out at my dad's pistol range, rifle range, and it's under snow, but I'm going to brave the cold and harsh conditions to shoot a pistol he gave me for Christmas. It is an actual Colt M1991A1. It's the designation, and he has started to customize this. Pistol is clear. We're going to take a closer look at the pistol, do some shooting, and get my thoughts on it. This is my first 1911 in the Manly caliber of 45 ACP. I have one other 1911. It's in 40 Smith & Wesson, which we all know is not a Manly 1911. It's got to be in 45 ACP, and this is my first one, so I'm looking forward to shooting it. I have shot and carried a 1911 and 45 ACP while in the U.S. military and the Navy. It had similar sights to this. It was a Gold Cup model, and so the team I was on, we got to carry those, so that was cool. And this one brings back a lot of memories, so let's do some shooting after we take a look at what he's done to it so far and talk about what we might want to do to it in the future. Alrighty. Okay, so we left off. I was out at the range, and I was going to tell you some of the things that have been done to this pistol. That footage, for some reason, is lost. Probably because it was 5 degrees, and I had snot flowing everywhere, and it was gross and nasty, so that's okay. We'll do a tabletop review. So, of this pistol, this started life as an M1991A1 Colt pistol purchased in 2000 per the serial number. Dad said he swore he bought it in the 80s, but the serial number says it was a 2000 model. Anyway, he bought it with the purpose of customizing it. So he is a former U.S. Marine Corps service member, quite a distinguished one. He was actually on their national pistol team and competed quite successfully. He was also went on to sniper training, and back then, this was, I think, 62, 63, somewhere around there. They didn't have, the U.S. Marine Corps did not have their own sniper school, so he attended some sort of school with the U.S. Army, and his bunkmate was Carlos Hathcock, and Dad is pretty he's been around, and he said that he did not like Carlos. He said he was always getting in trouble, and he was busted down to an E3 multiple times because he was kind of a miscreant. So, but I was impressed that that was his bunkmate, and of course Dad was like, I wasn't impressed. I was a better shot, but he was just crazier. So there you go. That's some Marine Corps stories. So that is why this particular Colt has been upgraded with the U.S. Marine Corps emblem on the stocks here. These are ivory. These are real ivory. It's hippo ivory, so it's legal, apparently. That's what Dad said. And you'll notice that the slide, the frame, it's a high polished blue, which you do not find on the 1991A1s. Dad started to customize this. He had the gold inlays done, and it's nice and tasteful. And then he said he planned on adding more engraving in this area, some gold leaf or some tributary type markings done. We didn't get around to it. The trigger the hammer looks like it's been polished. It's a standard hammer. Trigger is the stock. It's plastic, whatever. Crazy. Oh, and while we're at it, we will let's clear the gun for all the negative Nancy's out there. It is empty. We actually have official Colt 45 auto magazines. This is the only magazine I ran during the tests at the range. I didn't want to just try and worry about getting there we go, messing with some of the off-brand mags that Dad gave me with it. That's the other modifications. Bomar sight has been installed. Slides highly polished. And that's pretty much it. The barrel, I thought the A1s came with a, I know they're all matte finished, matte or parkerized, and I thought the barrels were also a matte finish as well. And this one's stainless. Only wording on it is, I don't know if you can read it, probably not. Just Colt 45 Auto. Anyway, I'm not a 1911 guy. I don't know hardly anything about them. I carried one, like I said earlier, in the Navy on the team I was on. We got some actually pretty nice ones. Qualified expert with my 1911. So, but as far as any sort of like all the fanboy stuff about them, I don't know. I had to look up to see, because I was looking for parts and it says it was a Series 80. So I had to actually look up and say, is this a Series 80 gun? Because I have no idea. And it's okay to admit that I don't know anything about the pistol, but I could still appreciate it. And as you'll see in the upcoming footage, it's not a bad shooter at close range. At the further ranges, my other 1911, which is, this is a Remington R1. This is the limited, and it has the match barrel, and it is chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. So it's not a real 1911 apparently. And I've upgraded it with, I think these are Wilson mags. Yeah, Wilson Combat Wilson Combat mags, 9-round mags. And of course, that's clear as well. And this, I love this gun. I got this on sale via gun broker. I think I paid $500 for it or less. It was under $500, brand new. And it is very accurate, as you'll see shortly. And I think all I've done to this is just upgraded the grips. It came with all black G10 grips, and I wanted a different color. So there you go. So yeah, so let's start shooting these. And Dad said this had never been fired before. He said, I was the first person to ever shot it, and I have not fired a 1911 and 45 ACP in 30 years since I left the Navy. So, and I was impressed. It shot just fine. It felt just like the 40 Smith & Wesson. And yeah, it was cool. So let's see how it did. Okay, let's do some shooting at 7 yards offhand. 5 rounds of some old ammo he had for me. Okay. 7 yards is right in the middle of a 3-foot snow berm, so that's awesome. Alrighty. Ooh, that one went real high. Okay. Boy, that first shot's always right there. And 8 rounds. A little better. We're getting used to the trigger. It's fairly heavy trigger at 5 to 5.5 pounds. But gun's functioning 100%. And he claims he's never fired it before, so this is the first time it's been shot in 21 years. So, alrighty. I think we got one more magazine. Alrighty, last 8 rounds. 7 yards. That's 7 in the magazine. Magazine I'm using is the factory original Colt, and I'll probably pick up some Chip McCormick makes some good ones. So fog is closing in, so let's get the last 7 rounds and see how she does. There we go. Yeah, one flyer. It's weird. All right, obviously, the Colt is not very impressive. And I put holes in Dad's fence, which is a big no-no. But yeah, so that's about 4.5-inch group. I had 20 odd yards at the rest with Blazer. That's a even larger group. Shooting high, it looks like. A little bit to the right. Last group was with my Remington R1 1911 and 40, and it did substantially better. Still not great. I had that one big flyer, but it's 5 degrees. North Idaho. Fog's rolling in, but still not much of an excuse for bad shooting, other than just crappy loads for the poor 1911, and sights need some adjusting. So anyway, close her out with a review of the pistol. Alrighty, so these are my two 1911s now. One on the left is the Remington R1 limited match in 40 Smith & Wesson. Great gun, love it, love everything about it. It was dirt cheap. Got it off Gunbroker a year or so ago for like $500. So, and then with the Remington rebate, I think it was even cheaper. So, great 1911. One on the right, of course, is the new 45 ACP 1911. It shoots nice. Trigger is like 5.5 pounds, 5 pounds, somewhere around there. I tested on the trigger gauge. The Remington is not much better. It's about 4.5, just under 5. But the classic Colt M1991A1 is just, you know, it's a great building block. So I'm excited to do some more mods to it and see how cool we can make it. Alrighty. Terry Veston out from the frozen tundra of free North Idaho. So thanks for watching, and see if we can come up with some more fun stuff to shoot.